On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Well, the Epstein files, are somewhat released. Not totally released. People are freaking out about it. I'm actually, at this point in the game, I'm actually starting to enjoy watching our own side implode. It is weird. It is really weird to watch people just kind of freak out about things not going the way they wanted it to. Again, just entertained at this point. All said, I'm going to walk through this with you guys. I don't think there's anything to be alarmed about, but I think people do get really emotionally excited about things when they think that it's going to be a certain way or that it's going to release or reveal certain information. I've learned to temper myself a long time ago. It almost never is close to what you hope it's going to be. Hasn't been yet. We're making progress. Trump's done some pretty amazing stuff. We're hearing rumors about some pretty amazing stuff. And again, I'm under the expectation that some very amazing things will happen indeed, but I'll believe it when I see it. And until that happens, I'm going to take it day by day. I'm going to work through it. I'm going to take some breaths in and out, and hopefully we'll be able to make it all work. All said, we got a lot to talk about. Just some cool pictures. I don't know. It's close to me. 117th Newport Beach Christmas Boat Parade. Never actually been in their boat parade or even seen it for that matter. I've been to the Dana Point one, and I've actually been in it, I think twice, which was kind of cool too. Nonetheless, just some pretty crazy pictures, right? This is people with, some could argue, entirely too much money, whatever the case is. Some pretty cool stuff. It's very celebratory. Here's someone that's pretending to be Doc, that's what we called him, but from Back to the Future. Yeah, anyways, cool stuff, all said, yeah. People and their money. I got a ration of crap from people, a number of people, for doing Inspired by Nicki Minaj on my Friday music show. I still think it's kind of, again, funny. I'm just laughing at our own side. I just kind of think it's odd. It's like I've talked a lot about what Nicki Minaj has been doing. She was on TPUSA. They invited her to talk. So I was celebrating that. I was celebrating her. I was celebrating the fact that she's part of this movement now. And I think that's super cool. And just strange, again, how people are kind of intolerant sometimes. It's very interesting how it all plays out. But here's 45 seconds of Nicki Minaj. I hope some of you guys can wait that long.
I'm proud of you guys. This is a major, to be so young, for you guys that are in college, to be so young and to care this much, this early in your life, it tells us how smart you are, and it tells us that there's hope for our future. So God bless you. Congratulations, you guys. You're amazing. Congratulations. You guys are amazing, okay? Know it. Feel it. Yes. Yes. Proudly. Be it proudly. Be who you are proudly.
Amen.
Yes.
So what has...
Those guys, that has to be a wig, right? Is that a wig?
Amen.
I don't think, I don't, yeah. There's no way her hair is real. I want it to be. Don't get me wrong. I truly do. Here is the sheriff of Washington, D.C. in her parting speech. I was almost not going to play it because, but it's so entertaining to watch the left melt down also. I'm enjoying both sides melting down, frankly, but this is the more the left melting down. It's fantastic. It's good times. Check it out.
Let's be really clear about one thing. Never will I ever compromise my integrity for a few crime numbers.
Chief Smith was just getting started.
I could never would I compromise my love for God, the faith that I had in the city. Never would I compromise my integrity. Never would I compromise 28 years in law enforcement for a few folk who couldn't stand to be held accountable. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it again.
Chief Smith appeared to be directing her remarks at the commanders who spoke to investigators with the House Oversight Committee.
How dare you! How dare you! How dare you! Attack my integrity, attack my character. You don't know who I belong to.
Before ending her remarks, Chief Smith had a word for what she called her haters.
So I'm going to the Bible when I say this to my haters. F you. No, it's not a drop the mic moment. Watch me in this space. I forgive you. I forgive you.
Chief Smith leaves the job after just 2 years, and as she did the traditional walkout from police headquarters, Chief Smith turned one more time and waved to the people who came to say goodbye.
I guess she is a dude. I thought she was actually a she, but obviously with that voice, when the devil was coming through her, it very much sounded like a man. So, yeah, there you go. I don't know if she probably shouldn't use secret deodorant. You know that one that's strong enough for a man but made for a woman? She probably shouldn't use that one. I'm just saying. Researcher, a visa holder from China, was charged with smuggling in E. coli into the United States. Lord knows what they were doing, where they were going to put it. Probably some sort of crazy strain of E. coli too, by the way. So again, coming from China with biologics. This is very, very illegal. Yuhuang Sheng. I'm sure I'm not saying that right. This is where I need my girls from NTD News, right? Where are they at? Where's Alice Tang at when you need her? She'd say it properly. I know that. I can't. No idea. Yeah, needless to say, they got him. They caught them. Gun Jams, I should say. This is, fortunately, no one's hurt, but this is, wow. Like, this is just some crazy sauce.
I told her not to steal, bro.
You didn't steal, so we're gonna look on her. You watched you walk over and put an item in the bag off the shelf.
Neighbors, please. 55.50. Hey! No! Get back!
Literally, the dude's gun jammed. Thank God it did, because he literally clicked it and then even had the wherewithal to ratchet it one time, which it still sounded like it clicked. Again, if you're a criminal, you should learn how to clean your guns, for Christ's sake. But needless to say, Walmart shoplifter, this is what he did. He almost shot a cop. It's insanity. Got some crazy stuff around elections that I want to chit-chat about. This is fabulous. The video itself, first off, kind of sucks. There's an echo in the background. The dude was filming with Bannon on the War Room, and he was like playing it in another room nearby, and so there was a delay. It was just freaking stupid. I wish Bannon would have been like, dude, can you turn that off? Do you have anyone at the house that can turn that off? Needless to say, we've got some kind of bombshell information, timeline that I think is going to help make a lot of sense as we start moving into the Tina Peters stuff and the election stuff. But the Tina Peters lawyer, Venezuelan insider, confirms U.S. voting machines share rigging flaws with Venezuela's Smartmatic, built to manipulate elections globally, including America. Smartmatic and Dominion are foreign-controlled and were actively changing election outcomes, and Venezuela is involved. Here's a timeline you need to know about. 2000, Smartmatic and Bizta Corp are incorporated in Delaware by Antonio Mujica, I don't know, Roger Piñate, and Alfredo Anzola. Yeah, I said that right. 2003, Venezuelan government representative Omar Montilla is appointed to the board of directors of Bizta, the company that will develop Smartmatic's automated election systems, or SAES, those election software systems. The Venezuelan government acquires 28% of the electoral software developers company. 2005. On March 9th, 2005, Smartmatic announces the purchase of Sequoia Voting Systems, adding their software, SAES, to a trusted American company. 2005 also, the European Union Electoral Mission establishes that Smartmatic, SAES, source code is owned by the Venezuelan government. 2006, a Democratic Congresswoman, Carolyn Maloney, requested an investigation by CFIUS on Smartmatic Sequoia Venezuelan government ownership. 2006 also, CFIUS orders Smartmatic to sell Sequoia because Smartmatic did not provide to the U.S. Treasury of ownership request. 2007, California reviews Sequoia Smartmatic source code and decertifies the software due to election security failures. 2008, Smartmatic integrates into Dominion PCOS, their technology for the elections in the Philippines. 2010, Dominion acquired Sequoia's Smartmatic all intellectual proprietary property, including software, firmware, and hardware. 2010, Hyder Garcia, Smartmatic's technology manager, is questioned by the Philippine Congress over the multiple failures of Dominion Smartmatic equipment. 2011, Dominion sets up its primary data center in Belgrade, Serbia, in partnership with Roaming Network, Huawei, China. Remember when Trump went hard against Huawei. 2011, Roaming Network is a company owned by a Serbian oligarch, Nenad Kovac. He's involved in espionage. 2013, Smartmatic is accused of manipulating the source code of adjudication systems, and Dominion denies source code review. International crisis. 2014, Smartmatic launched SGO as a parent company in London, UK, with Mark Malloch Brown, George Soros, as Smartmatic chairman. 2016, Dominion's president for Serbia says that the Belgrade headquarters has 50 software developers connecting all of its offices on a single cloud through a VPN. Canada, Serbia, Colorado. 2016, Smartmatic probed for changing source code on the Philippine election without the Election Commission approval. 2018, federal grand jury in Florida investigates Smartmatic execs for alleged bribery and money laundering related to the 2016 election in the Philippines. Huawei. 2020, FCC affirms designation of Huawei as a national security threat. 2024, Roger Piñate, Eli Moreno, Jose Miguel Vasquez, and Juan Andres Donato Batista are indicted in federal court on corruption charges. We haven't even gotten to the major stuff that's going to be happening here in the United States. This Huawei part's very key. Very key. The components of these machines are key. This information will come out. It's going to come out how it comes out. It's going to come out when it comes out. My guess is, I keep hearing certain individuals out in the field saying that Trump, any day, Trump said he was going to do this. But they keep hammering on this, and it's like, you know, I don't know how many weeks you keep saying any day that it eventually loses credibility, but it'll happen when it happens. My guess is it's going to be perfect timing. My guess is there's going to try to be lawsuits, but it's going to be an executive order. And if they do it within the proper time frames, it won't really give them time to do it. They know it's coming, so they're going to can a bunch of lawsuits, get them canned, get them ready to go. But they don't know exactly what the verbiage is. Nobody's leaking it to them. They're going to have a hard time with this. And Trump knows that. He's playing these cards close to his chest for a good reason. Fulton County admits certification of 315,000 potentially unlawful ballots in the 2020. They're just they're not properly verified. They're uncertified. 315,000 ballots. No matter how you slice it, they try to make it sound like, oh, we learned from it. We made changes. Sure, but 315,000 votes were uncertified and should not be counted. Period. Your mistake, sure, but we're going to not count those. So you, because of your mistake, now 315,000 votes, you'll say voters, well, their words aren't going to be heard from. And of course, many of us, I'd be fun to actually investigate those specific votes. How many of them are duplicates? How many of them are identical, right? There's an overwhelming percentage way above the normal vote represented in there, meaning it went heavy Democrat. Of course it did. We know that. We'll see what comes out. Again, this is going to be interesting how it plays out. It's got to play out on the public. People have to wake up. They have to have this like slowly simmering. We're all frogs in the pot right now, okay? And they turned the warmer up a while ago. Many of us realized what was going on and, got the hell out. Many people are not. And it's just starting to simmer and cook. And they're starting to see it. And whether or not it destroys them or not, we'll see. DOJ lawsuit against Illinois draws support from election integrity advocates. The U.S. Department of Justice lawsuit seeking access to Illinois' unredacted voter registration database draws praise from an election integrity advocate who says the move enforces longstanding federal law rather than partisan politics. So this was filed on Thursday by Harmeet Dillon, and she's done an amazing job. We've got lawsuits going against, 18 or 19 of the states so far? So we're getting there. Again, the timing is meant to be. We're going to have all of it. And what's fun is you're going to get district judges that are going to get involved when it comes to sharing records with the federal governments on federal elections, which is something the federal government has absolute jurisdiction over. Yeah, this is going to be very interesting how this plays out. And if the judges play the cards the way we assume they will, it almost makes me wonder if that's going to be part of the ammunition that Trump's able to use on the executive order. That so many courts are corrupted that the only way that we can guarantee that an election's actually going to be safe, secure, is to go old-fashioned, go paper ballots, count everything in the jurisdiction, right? And that's going to be it, period, end of story. Judges aren't going to be able to say anything because it's an executive order. It's a federal election. It's outside of their jurisdiction. And what union's going to sue? I'd be curious to see who does sue. States maybe, but they're just, federal government's like, dude, you can do what you want on your own elections. For the part of it that's federal, if you want to have two separate ballots, you want to have machines over here for the state election, how much people are going to trust that, we'll see. And then actual paper ballots for the federal part, all right, we'll see. So again, Harmeet Dillon's doing an amazing job. I'm glad she is. Biden border crisis fallout. We got terror gang Trender Agua. They've been charged in a massive ATM malware scheme. They literally managed to steal many millions of dollars. Some sort of weird malware they were able to put into ATM machines. I don't know if it was able, like they'd feed in some sort of card that was able to cycle it, but they were able to pull large amounts of cash out of ATM machines. Now, those things only have so many hundreds of dollars, so many thousands of dollars or whatever. They don't, they're not like they're just sitting there with insane amounts of cash in them, right? You can't just get $100 bills spitting out of it. It's usually 20s, sometimes 50s, right? Sometimes 5s. But yeah, they were able to basically take all the cash out of cash machines. So they've got a whole bunch of defendants, 22 defendants right now, 54 alleged members of this terror gang with sophisticated malware. They've charged 54 people. Yeah, first indictment, December 9th, charged 22 defendants with crimes. That's where that number comes from. So yeah, again. And then we got this chick in here too, by the way, who's smoking hot, let's be honest. But she's an actress, I guess. Venezuelan, Jimena Araya Rosita, right? I guess, and they were talking about her down here someplace too, but I don't speak Spanish well enough to read all of this. Some of it. All said, she's also part of this being indicted stuff. So again, we are taking down a lot of these cartels, a lot of these organized crime things that are happening in this country. This is happening. We are seeing it. It is playing out. We can question whether it's fast enough or not, whatever, but I think it's actually surprisingly quick. Trump admin slams Democratic county for releasing illegal immigrant murderer. Literally blood on their hands. Federal officials are criticizing Northern Virginia's leaders after an illegal alien who had been released from local custody was arrested in connection with a fatal stabbing a day later, renewing debate over sanctuary-style policies and refusal to cooperate with immigration enforcement. The suspect, 23-year-old Marvin Morales Ortez, an illegal immigrant from El Salvador, had been jailed in Fairfax County on charges of malicious wounding and brandishing a firearm. Prosecutors dropped those charges, citing insufficient evidence and the victim's inability to testify, and Morales Ortez was released. The following day, police allege he killed a man with a knife. This is what the Dems keep doing. It's insanity. Here's Marco Rubio, and he's really saying the truth about this stuff with visas and all this crap. You don't just get a free pass.
Our visa system, who you allow to visit your country, should reflect the national interest. We said that from the very beginning. It was one of the directives that we got from the president. It's one of the things he ran on. And so our visa process basically is Now, there are some times we'll deny people visas because of activities they've undertaken overseas. Other times, it's people that have visas but are in the United States doing things that run counter to our national interest. And the law gives us the right, and in fact, I would argue the obligation, to remove people like that from our country. And we're going to continue to do it. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, sometimes somebody comes in and says, oh, I want to come in as a student. They're here as a student, and then once they're here, they're involved in nefarious activity. We're going to remove them from the country. But maybe they're here as a researcher. Maybe they're here as, I don't want to say journalist because you guys will get upset, but it could be anything. These are visitors to the country. A visa is a visitor. It's not a right. By the way, we deny visas every day all over the world. People will go to an embassy, they'll sit for an interview, and the consular officer will deny them a visa because of something that came up in the record, because of something that came up in their interview, whatever it may be. So if you have the power to deny someone a visa before they get one, you most certainly have the power to revoke it once they get one and then do something they shouldn't be doing. So there's a variety of reasons why visas are denied, but all of them are because it implicates our national interest or national security in some way.
Yeah. So again, we will take them away. We have every legal right to do so. That's just how the game's going to play out. Want to remind you guys how to feel great. Certainly those of you that are wanting to lose a few pounds, all the way up to those of you that have diabetes, pre-diabetes, and everything under the sun. This is an amazing product that is literally helping all sorts of people lose weight. I mean, there's all sorts of pictures here. And it's literally just drinking a tea. It's amazing. This product, Unimate, and it is actually called Unimate, I found out. The voiceover guy messed it up. Just a little packet. Tear the top off. It's got a powder. Mix it in with some water. It is delicious. First off, the lemon is delicious. Tastes like iced tea with lemon in it. It's what it tastes like to me. It tastes like the old Crystal Light iced tea with lemon. It is. It gives you, one, energy. Two, it helps with your appetite. It helps you keep fasting going a little longer. It just helps you in general with what we as Americans have, well, the world, frankly, has a problem with, and that's insulin resistance. Number of things cause this. Number of things are involved in it. With it, a lot of the chemicals that are in our food, the fact that we snack in weird ways and we have carbs that are not carbs but are carbs. And so again, this is creating a lot of problems in our bodies, and insulin resistance is a big part of it. And of course, people that have diabetes to an extent certainly are experiencing a form of this. And people are literally seeing their A1C numbers drop. Seriously. Doctors are testing them, and they're literally having to adjust their meds, their insulin, because they've actually helped their numbers. This is helping. It's helping people lose weight at a very healthy pace. I'm hearing 5, 6, 7 pounds a week. That's how it should be. Took you a while to get overweight. 5, 6, 7 pounds down a week is very good. It helps with your skin and stuff like that too, by the way, guys. If you lose weight too fast, you'll be bummed how you look. You won't want to go run out and take your clothes off in front of everybody because you got this, extra skin that's going to take some time to dissipate. When you lose weight healthily, your body's able to kind of do it properly, including your skin. It's amazing. I want you to go to otfspecial.com. That's otfspecial.com. I want you to check out this incredible product, the Unimate with the balance. And it will help you, one, lose weight. The balance actually helps so you process carbs more efficiently and properly. It's also got some fiber in there that kind of helps fill you up a little bit. So it helps you lose weight. And so what you do is you do Unimate twice a day. You do it, twice, once in the morning, once maybe at noon, right? And then with dinner, right before dinner, you drink the balance. And people are, one, digesting better. Two, getting their sugar levels way, way in a better place. And three, actually not able to eat quite as much. The balance is filling them up. And I'm hearing, when you put in extra fiber in your body, it actually helps push out a lot of stuff in your system. I don't want to get too graphic, but a lot of people are talking about a number of things from that standpoint. It's a very powerful system. It's actually reasonably priced for sure, for what you're getting especially. And I think you'll be amazed. I want you to check out this video. It kind of gives us a good idea of how this product works. And again, I love these guys. otfspecial.com, otfspecial.com. I drink it every day. I love it, and it's actually helping me in a lot of ways. Definitely with the energy, too. I love it before I work out. It's helping a lot. I don't like to eat in the morning. I get heartburn if I do. It's just weird. So anyway, my body doesn't like to. I know you're supposed to, they say. I just say listen to your body is what I say, and that's what I do. I don't care what other people say. It doesn't matter. I'm not like everybody else. I've learned this long ago. I'm like me, and so I listen to my body, and my body tells me. This is the same for you, and this will help you get through this immune resistance and the resistance for the insulin. Sorry, immune. close, those words, but not the same. Anyways, here's a great video. Check this out. It's only like a minute long.
If you're constantly battling low energy, cravings, weight control, watching your health slip away, listen up. There's a simple daily protocol they don't want you to know about that's helping people ditch their meds and reclaim their health. Up to 88% of Americans potentially suffer from some degree of insulin resistance. The Feel Great Protocol is a simple 2-step daily system designed to help your body work with you, not against you. Step 1. Unimate, a powerful yerba mate extract clinically shown to boost mood, increase mental clarity, and support fat burning. Step 2. A patented fiber matrix called Balance. Taken before meals, it helps regulate blood sugar, curb cravings, and support healthy insulin response. That's it. No crazy diets, no meds, just science-backed support your body actually understands. Feel Great is perfect for you if you have low energy, weight control, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, poor sleep, diabetes, snacking, sugar cravings, gut health, systemic inflammation. This isn't a trend, it's a transformation. Start today to reclaim your health with the Feel Great Protocol.
Stuff's incredible. You're going to love it. You're going to love the way you feel, too, as you're doing it. That's the best part about it. You don't change any eating habits. You don't have some crazy diet. You literally just drink some water with stuff that's delicious in it 3 times a day, and you will notice the differences. You'll notice your sugar levels. If you're monitoring on a regular basis, you'll notice. If you're seeing a doctor that's checking these things on a regular basis, you'll notice. Compare your last test to the next one after you've done this for a month. I dare you to prove me wrong. Dare you. OTFspecial.com. OTFspecial.com. Get out of that nonsense. Fix it. Be healthy. The power is within you. All right, we got some stuff going on with states. This is kind of, I don't know, interesting for sure. It covers all the emotions, probably. We'll see how it goes. You'll be stoked and pissed, all within the same set of stories. Minnesota Somali fraudster pleads guilty to Medicaid and food stamp theft scheme. Pled guilty to $14 million. This is just one of many people that are in the pipeline to be busted. Of course, these are some Somali people. Not saying all Somali people are bad, just all bad people are Somali. I'm just kidding. It's not what I'm saying. Anyway, needless to say, here, House Oversight Committee Chair Rep. James Comer is threatening to subpoena Tim Walz if he doesn't actually show up.
As for the Minnesota fraud, Congressman Comer tells Fox that he is prepared to subpoena Governor Walz to come in and testify before the House Oversight Committee if Walz doesn't cooperate with their investigation, Brett.
Bill, sometimes these things take time. What's the next step here?
So you heard Congressman Comer talk about wanting to get those bank records. He said specifically what he's looking for, things called suspicious activity reports. He wants to try to track what, if any, money was sent from Minnesota back to Somalia, who was sending it, who got it, how much of it was taxpayer dollars.
All right, we'll follow it. Bill, thank you.
Yep.
The suspect in the...
Wow, did Brett Baier call the election for Arizona, for the 2028 election already? I think he did. I'm just kidding. Making that up, people. Come on. Have a sense of humor. Dadgummit. Not all these things can be funny, but we try nonetheless. Here's Tim Walz in panic mode, freaking out, blaming everybody and their mother. Pretty much.
This is one of, I don't want to say the number, it's countless numbers. Every night I get an update on this of the threats to our federal money on everything we do. Because look, right now it's very clear. The entire federal government is weaponized against Minnesota. And the issues of things that should be states' rights, states to control, they're threatening us with this. And this is what happens when you have a floundering presidency and it is about those ballrooms and everything else. Now we're back on transgender folks. And these are healthcare providers providing the best guidance to parents and children to get their care. So we're assessing what it means. It's on every front. It's CDLs, it's transportation money, it's money across the board that they have weaponized. So.
Yeah, so I was doing the hand thing. I guess that's when everybody's supposed to start singing, right? Everybody sings when they do the hand thing in church. That's how you know you're supposed to sing or say something anyways. President Trump says it's time to deport Ilhan Omar.
The great U.S. attorney up there, they came out, think of this, $9 billion, and they think that's just the beginning. They stole, think of it, in their country, they live on nothing, they have nothing. They come here and they steal $9 billion. Are we stupid? I mean, how do we allow that to happen? Ilhan Omar should be sent out of our country. She should not be allowed to be a congresswoman. She married her brother either to stay or to get him into the country. And yesterday she, I guess, made up a story. She said the police attacked her son. They stopped the car and the police said, we never attacked him, we never stopped. It was a made up story. She's a con person, she's full of con. She says, zero. She said, you ought to get her the hell out of our country. That's what you ought to do. She made up a story that the police stopped her son's car.
Yeah, she made up. That's true. The police said that it's not true, at least Border Patrol or ICE or whatever. California expected to defy federal pressure and reissue 17,000 non-domiciled CDLs. This is interesting, what California is doing. They are, there's two rules. The judge stayed the new rule that the Trump administration put out and the way that they're kind of going after California. So that's been stayed. But California actually has failed for the rule that existed prior to the Trump administration, and likely will be something that the Justice Department or the Department of Transportation, really, or both, are going to be able to go after him for. So California's kind of like sort of basically telling the federal government, F you, but at the same time, federal government's got all sorts of funding that they're going to hold back from California. This is going to destroy California. It's going to hurt the state in a very awesome kind of way. And I mean that in a sense that it's going to demonstrate that people like Gavin Newsom and all these people are wrong. Again, the vote, when we finally get our vote figured out, I've heard rumors that there's evidence that will be coming forth here, specifically in California, especially even around the Gavin Newsom recall initiative that happened and how he really was fully, heavily recalled, yet, of course, he wasn't. Yeah, we're hearing all sorts of things. So this will be an interesting thing that happens. Kevin Kiley posted this. The Newsom administration allowed at least $32 billion in unemployment fraud during COVID. No state is even close. And Elon Musk responded, the fraud was not merely allowed by the California state government. They were the orchestrator. Yeah, that's the reality of it. Tow truck driver who allegedly took an ICE vehicle during Los Angeles raid was found not guilty. A jury basically said that's cool. They literally towed an ICE vehicle and they got a not guilty plea from the... It's just, yeah. This is actually illustrative of how messed up things are just politically in our government with people in general. You should have to be an actual citizen, I think, to even serve on a jury, frankly. That's another thing that I think should happen. So that's something that I'm sure doesn't happen in California. I know they tie jury duty in specifically with your voter registration and your California driver's license. So the two things they do here, they register from both. One mistake some people make actually in this state, for those of you that maybe are here and you wonder why you get called for jury duty so often. If your voter registration name and your name on your driver's license basically don't match exactly, yeah, you'll get called up more often because they actually go by the name. And so anyway, just something that some of you guys might not know. Substation fire knocks out power across parts of San Francisco. I think this happened Saturday. Was it Saturday night? Yeah, but the PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric substation located at 8th Street and Mission Street. They shut down power and extinguished a fire. Blah, 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 blah. Right, it's a pretty big substation, giant, in fact, enclosed within a building. It's pretty cool. Needless to say, yeah, they had problems because of this. This actually was involved in the last outage they had in San Francisco like 18 years ago or something weird like that. And same exact substation, oddly. 22 years ago. Close enough. Whatever. Same substation. Now, funny, when the power went out, all these Waymo cars stopped working. They just stopped working.
He's stuck. Poor guy. He can't figure it out.
I wonder if anyone that's in the car is actually able to get out of the car when this happened. That'd be really sad if it doesn't unlock the doors or something strange. And honking at a driverless car seems stupid to me, by the way. It just, oh boy. seems more annoying to all the other people that are likely going to complain. That was strange. Anyway, yeah. Honk at the driverless car if you hate driverless people. We got Secretary Scott Turner, HUD Secretary, I should say, is confirming major investigation into Boston for anti-white public housing. I think this is worth checking out.
Yeah, so in Boston, what we found, and we launched this investigation, is because they were using discriminatory housing policies in their city. We found a quote on their website that said they will integrate racial equity at every level of city government. So they put race above reality. They put race above merit and need. And our job at HUD is to enforce and uphold the Fair Housing Act. And they were evading and encouraging landlords and property owners to evade the Fair Housing Act. And so, yes, they have been put on notice. We will uphold and enforce this law. It's not about race. It's not about gender. DEI at HUD is there. We counseled over $4 billion in contracts in DEI. And so we will not promote nor will we tolerate this as it pertains to housing policies. And so that's why this investigation was launched.
All right, 2 more quick questions if you've got just another minute. So the Massachusetts governor says your investigation is ridiculous and frivolous and just another example of Trump going after his political enemies. What's your response to that?
It's not true. Our job is to uphold the law. It has nothing to do with politics, but everything to do with principle. We put principle over politics. Our job is to enforce the law, and they are evading the law and encouraging others to evade the law. For example, to preference or give privilege to people who are looking to buy a home and give them privilege because of their race, that has nothing to do with the law. To insert racial equity at every level of city government, that has nothing to do with the law. To encourage financial institutions to lend to people and give preference to people according to their race, that has nothing to do with the law or politics. And so DEI, discriminatory policies, all of those things are dead, not just here at HUD, but in the administration. And the American people deserve for the laws to be upheld and not to promote discriminatory housing policies because of their race, their gender, their ideology. And so that's our job here, is to make sure the law is being upheld.
Last question.
I don't know what it is. I kind of like that guy. There's just, I'm going to stay silent on all the things I want to say. No, how about that? That never happens. Fetterman. He's talking about how the ACA subsidies, right, this whole thing, well, that expired because of the Dems. Nobody voted, no Republicans voted for Obamacare, so this can't be put on the Republicans in any way, shape, or form, though they keep trying. And the expiration was also put in by the Democrats. Interestingly, it seems poor guy has a hard time, getting his thoughts out. I'm not going to be mean per se, because I think Fetterman, he had that heavy stroke or something crazy. Something happened. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it messed with his head badly. And he's come a long ways, so I'm going to get points. And again, like Manchin, I think Fetterman is one of the people that's literally, as a Democrat, he's one of the first people to stand up and do the movement. Like I've talked about the way to start a movement. You should seriously watch that. I'll play it again, of course, one of these days soon. Again, it's just amazing to remember that each of us can be that movement. In fact, I just had a fun little $5 meeting yesterday, and one of the ladies was talking about how she was showing up in a doctor's office, and she started a movement in that doctor's office. Literally got a bunch of people doing stuff. The 2 of them were dancing. Craziness. Shit like that never happens in doctor's offices. But Dolly made it happen because Dolly has been paying attention to the bigger picture. And she decided to make a difference in that moment. And that's what all of us should be doing. Every day there's a moment where you can make a difference. Every day there's many moments, frankly. And you should look for them. You should wait. You should expect them. And when they occur, you should capitalize because this is your opportunity. And maybe that's just being nice. Maybe that's just smiling. Maybe it's an interesting conversation. It can be a lot of things. It's not always what we want it to be as much as the inroads that get us to where we want to be. And sometimes the path may take us through some interesting territories that we did not plan. So keep these things in mind. It's pretty beautiful, needless to say. Here's Fetterman.
Sounds like that's what John is talking about, though, right? You're talking about doing a 1 year while you figure out what else can be done.
It's like, I'd like to remind, it's like this was our bill, Obamacare, Not a single Republican voted for that, right?
That's right.
Not one.
That's right.
And now these extensions was through COVID, and that was designed designed to expire at the end of this year. That wasn't like a Republican thing. It was like that was the way it was designed. And now here it is. And now it doesn't require people to agree that it's all awesome. But what we can agree that there is not much time to do this, and negotiate it. I think some changes are appropriate. But for me, you don't have time, and now here it is. Let's just.
So I think we would have to have there would definitely have to be a cap on, right now
Income?
you can have a millionaire that's using it, like an income cap, some type of buy-in. There would have to be reforms to it to
Would you
even
consider
create
an income cap?
even create a transition period.
I'm saying it's like I always try to run it through like a jury of a group of folks, in a Walmart parking lot in Scranton. It's like, how can I explain what it's like? It's like, hey, look, I just want to buy you one more year here now, and then we could figure out a more durable thing forward, because we all know what it is. We don't have to love it, but we know what it is, and it's just a simple vote rather than trying to figure out, because
And I would say if you want to get Republican buy-in.
This ultimately comes down to the midterm elections, period, end of story. And them trying to buy a year gets them past the elections, and they can claim that nothing's happened because they're going to be able to block pretty much everything, especially between that and the judges. So they might have a little bit to go on. Now, again, Trump's going to mess with that with the elections. All said, though, this is what the Dems' plan's basically working through, right? So, again, is what it is. Is what it is. Every day, we're making a difference, guys. I swear to God. All right, whole bunch of stuff with Epstein. Whole bunch of stuff with Epstein. Maybe a big nothing burger to some of you guys, but I don't think that's actually true. I think this backfired big time. Bigly on the Dems. They're still pushing. They're pushing really hard, in fact, to come after the Dems, or to come after the Republicans, come after Trump. They're still blaming Trump's administration for slow-walking this, if you will. U.S. Justice Department put this out, or Department of Justice, better way to say it. Correct way to say it anyways. The Justice Department is not redacting the names of any politicians. As DAG Todd Blanche made clear, the only redactions being applied to the documents are those required by law. Full stop. Consistent with the statute and applicable laws, we are not redacting the names of individuals or politicians unless they are a victim. I guess readers added some context, just to be fair. The Department of Justice's extensive redactions of the currently released Epstein files does not comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which makes it against the law. So I'm not quite sure what they mean by that. The extensive redactions of the currently released Epstein files does not comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. If there's victims or if they're involved in trials currently, again, people don't get it. They're gonna focus on this how they're gonna focus on it, and I think many people in my own audience are gonna disagree with me, and that's totally cool. Love it. Fantastic. ABC News. The Justice Department released materials on Friday from investigations into Jeffrey Epstein, including a 1996 FBI complaint filed years before his initial probe for child sex abuse. The document appears to be the earliest known report to federal authorities alleging Epstein's involvement in child sexual exploitation. The September 1996 complaint to the FBI's Miami office accused Epstein of child pornography activity. Complainant Maria Farmer, a professional artist, reported that Epstein stole personal photos and negatives of her sisters aged 12 and 16 and possibly sold them. She also stated that Epstein asked her to photograph young girls at swimming pools and threatened to burn her house down if she disclosed the matter. Farmer, whose name was redacted in the files, confirmed to ABC News that she filed the complaint and expressed gratitude for the release, feeling vindicated. The materials include thousands of newly disclosed photos, some graphic and redacted, with notations indicating certain images were withheld as child sexual abuse materials. Images from Epstein's January 2003 50th birthday party feature redacted faces of attendees. Dozens of photos show the interior of Epstein's New York City apartment following a 2019 search. The release incorporates previously public documents from 50 civil and criminal cases related to Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. It also contains a complete 354-page 1999 edition of Massage for Dummies, Of course, it's the 1999 party like it's 1999, right? Handwritten FBI interview notes released today expose and show the calculated nature of Jeffrey Epstein's predatory operation focused on minors and white, quote, non-dark girls. Apparently he had a thing with a non-dark. J.E. didn't want Spanish or dark girls. J.E.'s, what's doing? Why bringing me dark girl? Bringing young girl. Yeah, but not dark. Told her he just wasn't into her. Told recruiter to keep looking for girls. And apparently the worst entry, they say. At one point, redacted, witnessed him asking for ID to girl, wanted to make sure under 18 because he wasn't believing them. Again, these are allegations. We'll see what comes out. Again, this looks bad, that's for sure. Department of Justice drops new Saturday Epstein files, deletes Trump pics, right? They say deletes Trump pics. And again, I don't know why Cyril had just gotten so weirdly left-leaning, strange. All said, or the truth is coming out. But yeah, they had stacks of information, hard drives, all sorts of crap. I don't know what the hell this is. I cannot for the life of me figure out what the frick this photo is. It looks like a human, like leathered human or something. You know, it looks really weird. I don't know what it is. There's a picture here. They say they dropped out. They had all these pictures, but they're missing this one in between. 468 and 468's missing. Where'd 468 go? It's got a picture of Trump and Epstein. It's that one famous picture that we've all seen 100,000 million times. It's in the desk drawer. That's why they admitted it. I don't know. There might be actually other people in here. There's a butt ton of people in here. I mean, the Pope, they killed him. Just kidding. Well, he is dead. He's been dead for a while. Obviously, they got the new Pope. They repoped. They poped up. They depopedified. We talk about the actual net worth of Jeffrey Epstein. Holy crap, $559 million. Dang-gum. He had $56 million just in cash. And then in properties, he had something like, I don't know, a bunch. Little St. James Island is said to be worth $63 million. Hey, guys, you can pick up an island for $63 million. What a bargain. And yeah. Of course, they're going after Trump. They got some pictures here. We got all sorts of pictures we'll share here. This is Bill Clinton in a pool. This is Ghislaine Maxwell. She does appear to have some sort of bathing suit on. Nice. And some lady, they've blacked out her face. We assume is either A, involved in a case, or B, is a underage. And then Bill Clinton, of course, the Clinton files. That's why I said that. Here is some security room where they were, that's pretty cool. They got looks like he's got solid 3 monitors, two, so 4, 7, and then maybe one more over here. This is nice setup. Able to look at all sorts of cameras simultaneously. Yeah, so you got some of their server stuff, a little rack, pretty good setup. Whole bunch of hard drives. Here we've got David Copperfield. Someone said in the caption that made Ghislaine Maxwell's boobs disappear. But actually, that's right there. It would be where her breast is. So he's not very good at it, David. I've seen you make, I think, the Statue of Liberty disappear. I was actually at that show. It's a pretty cool show. Anywho. 24-hour surveillance. So again, just a bunch of pictures of this crazy place. Oh yeah, this is something that we'll get to later. People made a big damn deal about this. Whatever, we'll talk about it. I don't care. Whatever you think is cool. I mean, a lot of you guys would jump to conclusions, I think, anyways. But videos of Epstein with children or child porn is what Bondi said. What, are we supposed to see those? Again, think about that for a second. Like, if there are child porn videos, what do you want? Confirmation of it? I mean, she said it. Obviously, you don't trust that. But what you want? You want to see it, but redact what the child and watch them raping it or something? I mean, what is required for somebody to actually feel like that's been dealt with properly? Again, I'm up for suggestions. You guys have at it. Cool. I'm not trying to make any room for these guys. Several 100,000 documents Blanche is talking about releasing here in the next few days, which he missed the deadline to get them all out. whatever. People are freaking out, and it's cool. Whatever.
Today marks the deadline for the DOJ to make the Epstein files public after the president signed a law requiring those to be released. So in these files, are we going to learn any new information about Epstein and people that may have been associated with him?
So yes, so today is the 30 days, and I expect that we're going to release several 100,000 documents today, and those documents will come in all different forms, photographs and other materials associated with all of the investigations into Mr. Epstein. And just so everybody appreciates, President Trump has said for years that he wants full transparency, and he wants the Department of Justice to release everything that we can with respect to this investigation and cases. And we saw during the Biden administration radio silence from the very Democrats that are screaming from congressional steps today that we haven't done enough. But guess what? President Trump signed that law 30 days ago, and we have been working tirelessly since that day to make sure that we get every single document that we have within the Department of Justice, review it, and get it to the American public. Now, the most important thing that the Attorney General has talked about, that Director Patel has talked about, is that we protect victims. And so what we're doing is we are looking at every single piece of paper that we are going to produce, making sure that every victim, their name, their identity, their story, to the extent it needs to be protected, is completely protected. And so I expect that we're going to release more documents over the next couple of weeks. So today, several 100,000, and then over the next couple weeks, I expect several 100,000 more. There's a lot of eyes looking at these, and we want to make sure that when we do produce the materials we're producing, that we're protecting every single victim. A judge in New York has required the U.S. Attorney in New York to also look at the materials to make sure that victims' information is protected.
Right. So I mean, again, they're not happy with the way this is coming out. It is what it is. Like I said, I tempered my way a long time ago. Thomas Massey is wanting to threaten impeachment and all sorts of crazy shit. So it's cool. I don't give a shit what Thomas thinks. You guys might. This is many are saying this is digitally altered photos using Gemini 8i, which is interesting that they're specifically calling out the Samsung version. Maybe it was. Maybe they could tell based off of some stamp somewhere. But yeah, it's supposed to be all different. The same girl that they've all been with. If this is someone underage, it's really sad unless she's come out with evidence herself. So again, I worry about people right now. I really do. In the general picture, I know stuff's all coming to terms, and I know people disagree with me heavily on some of this crap. Again, it's going to play out how it plays out. There's no fighting that. I tell you, life shows up the way it does. Here's Bill Clinton, Michael Jackson, Oprah Winfrey, and then apparently 3 blacked out faces. That's interesting. We've got Epstein with Miroslav Lajčák, former president of the United Nations General Assembly. There you go. I don't know if this is a New York place. I don't think this is the island, but still. Here's Epstein files revealing photo of former Prince Andrew laying across women's laps. They had to black out all of them except Ghislaine Maxwell over here. Oh. Right. So this is all sorts of crazy. Prince Andrews, who's been de-princed. So both Bill and Hillary Clinton, they've apparently turned off their comments on X. They had no more comments on either of their channels on X. Not a surprise to anybody. Apparently Les Wexner, he's the, of course, American billionaire and former close associate. Isn't he the Victoria's Secrets dude? Associate of Jeffrey Epstein. He's back in the spotlight as new emails reveal he lied about his relationship with Epstein, and former Ohio State University athletes seek to subpoena him in an ongoing legal dispute. There's a big, long article that I don't want to get into all the details. Needless to say, Lex Wexner is involved in that kind of stuff. Here is him, what's his face? What's his name? Just had him on over here a second ago. Blanche, talking with Meet the Press, which is NBC, so you never know. It's always their slant. But he's talking about the Reps Massey and all this stuff and their impeachment and all this nonsense. So
Congressman Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna, the authors of the Epstein bill, say the partial release of files failed to comply with the law. They say they are considering looking into the possibility of impeachment proceedings, contempt, even criminal referrals for obstruction of justice for DOJ officials. Do you take these threats seriously?
Not even a little bit. Bring it on. We are doing everything we're supposed to be doing to comply with this statute. And Congressman Massey and these other congressmen that are coming out speaking negatively about Director Patel and the Attorney General have no idea what they're talking about. They know the work that we're going through. They know what we're doing to protect victims. I mean, just think about what we're doing. You're talking about 1 million or so pages of documents. Virtually all of them contain victim information. So, listen, the idea that Attorney General Bondi would ever let a single piece of paper go out of this department that contains victim information is something they know we won't do. And the fact that they're threatening to impeach her for protecting victims is a reflection of where their head's at. It's not a reflection of this department. We are complying with the statute. We will continue to comply with the statute. And if by complying with the statute, we don't produce everything on Friday, we produce things next week and the week after, that's still compliance with the statute. There is well-settled law, as they should know, that in a case like this, where we're required to produce within a certain amount of time, but also comply with other laws like redacting information, that very much trumps, redacting information very much trumps some deadline in the statute.
He said trumps. Oh, it's got to eat people up, especially on NBC. Everybody sees this. Israel Defense Forces. This was found in Epstein's closet or whatever. It's one of his shirts. So this is, again, it's one of those things where people have a tendency. Their minds go in specific directions. I can think of a whole bunch of people. Just the way this would immediately target them one way or the other. You know, this instantly means, oh, they're just trying to cover up, or this is them just trying to pin this on Israel. Like, I can see it going both ways. I also understand the fact that there's the always other option, which is not the two polar extremes, but oftentimes the truth, which is that someone probably came over, gave him that shirt, you know, it's a cool looking shirt, whatever. Probably had a bunch of t-shirts that were crap, if you look at them. I mean, there's just one. If he had a stack of them, that'd be a different story in my mind, for sure. And he's got like 6 of them, and they're all perfectly, like, ironed. Yeah, I'd be a little more concerned. He has one t-shirt. Come on. Again, whatever. Cool. Believe what you are going to believe, they say. President Trump announcing that they've literally sold $1.3 billion worth of those gold card things. That's crazy as hell.
Let's start by announcing 2 things. This is the gold card that, as you know, the Secretary of Commerce and myself and some others have been working on for quite a while. And Howard, how much have we sold in a few days?
$1.3 billion worth in a matter of a couple of days.
That's essentially it's the green card on steroids. And it's a pathway, and it's been an amazing thing. And as you know, millions of people pour into our country from the border. And not anymore, they don't know, nobody comes in actually anymore. But under the Biden administration, 25 million people came in, and they came from prisons and mental institutions, and they were drug dealers, and all sorts of people came in that shouldn't be here. They came from the jails.
What is the appropriate place? I'm asking all the Christians out there. Like, what's the appropriate place where your cross on your necklace is possibly too big? Like, is it when it's like the Flava Flav size cross? I mean, when they literally got to up you on a big pole and carry you into the church as they enter? Like, that's really big crucifix, by the way. I'm just saying. I think it's great. You're Christian. Obviously, I can see that from the moon. That's, wow. It seems huge to me. I don't know. Whatever. I have issues. Again, what's the size where it's too big? That's all I'm asking, right? Ladies, sometimes, you know, I didn't know. It's too big. Oh, dude, Trump is pissing people off. Dudettes too, by the way. He's pissing people off. He gave $1,776 cash bonus to every single military person. And, well, frick, they're happy about it. That's weird.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We got another one here. This one's kind of cool. I like the energy.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't care what they be talking about today. That's my president. Shout out to President Trump. He do something like this every year. Shit. Hey, he do something like this every year. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I was a little short on Christmas too. He came through just in the nick of time. The kids about to get everything they want. You think you want a PS5? I got you. Daddy got you. Yeah. You said you want a what? You said you want a tablet? Daddy got you. What? What you say you want, little man? You just want some gummy bears? I'll buy you 15 of them. I'll buy you a whole box of gummy bears. Daddy got you. What? I don't care what y'all say about that. I mean, he do be tripping sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. But this is way of saying sorry. He's sorry. He's sorry. You know how some people can't say sorry for real, so they gotta buy your love a little bit. Hey, you know what I'm saying? He know my love language. My love language is money. Money.
Dude sounds like Kevin Hart. It's funny as hell. Doesn't look like Kevin Hart. I'm not saying they all look the same. He sounds similar, the way he's portraying himself. Alina Haba posted this. DOJ successfully won a motion in Pennsylvania to unseal and produce documents to bring to light details of the assassination attempt on President Trump by Thomas Crooks. While the left spins after years of doing nothing, we remain in the party of transparency under the leadership of AG Pam Bondi and POTUS. Well done, some company news and this other group of people at X. Good job. Oh, AG Pam Bondi, I guess. Needless to say. Justice Department appeals dismissal of the Comey and James trial, the Tits, James, and the Comey trials. They've appealed them, which is good. That's kind of good because I think they kind of need this since they can't get Senate approvals for any of these places. If Trump's got to continue to put temporary people in place, then that's what he's going to do. And he'll put people in place that will take care of what he needs to do, and he'll have to do it every 120 days or whatever the short amount of time is. And it is something stupid like that. Stefanik, she's dropping out of the New York governor race. This is a weird kind of thing. First off, she initially was going to get out of the House, I want to say, to get into the Trump administration doing something, but they didn't want to create a problem in the House. So they pushed her back down. And then she was going to run for governor of New York, but as we've come to find out, ran into some difficulties that another Republican was going to be running. The individual, if I can find his name, Bruce Blakeman. And she backed out. She's like, I don't want to get in the middle of this. I'm not going to run for re-election in Congress. I'm done. And I find it interesting. It's almost like she was promised something at some point, but was blocked at every place. And one's got to wonder why. Trump rewards everybody who's loyal to him. Everybody. Hands down. Well, take it back. He rewards everyone that's loyal to him that's capable and competent, because there are some people that just make too many mistakes. You can make some mistakes here and there, maybe, but not often, right? And so some people haven't made it. Some people were supposed to fail. Again, there's always stories behind everything. But Trump comes out and says he's putting his support behind Bruce Blakeman for governor of New York, not Stefanik. So Stefanik steps away because she's not going to get the funding. She didn't get Trump's approval. There's no way she can win. Zero chance. Now, Trump, truth, Elise Stefanik, a fantastic person and congresswoman from New York State, has just announced she won't be running for governor. Elise is a tremendous talent. Regardless of what she does, she will have great success, and I am with her all the way. Except for governor. And maybe she went Marjorie Taylor Greene. Maybe she just got butthurt. Maybe her ego, he owes it to me. I don't know. But Elise is stepping out. I find that to be very interesting. Senator Loomis has been a great ally on crypto. Apparently, she's not going to be running. She's stepping out. Another Wyoming Republican Senator Cynthia Loomis has officially announced she will not be running for re-election in 2026. Things are changing, guys. They are changing indeed. Market has been kind of interesting. Silver's up at 67.39 right now. It was up $2, I think, as of Friday. I'm pretty sure it's stayed stagnant here. I'm not sure if Kitco's better, but whatever. We'll find out what happens. Gold's up barely, which is good. It's flat, which means inflation's kind of tame at the moment. That's always good. Gold's a reflection of what's going on with the dollar. Silver is going to spike, and it's going to go up a lot over the next, likely close to 200 by the end of next year. Likely close to 200 by the end of next year. Literally. We should be definitely over 70 by the end of the year. Still got a week to do it. Pretty sure we'll break 70 or at least tap it and come back, whatever. After that, within the first quarter, we should probably break 100, and strong chance, depending on how things go, but a strong chance by the end of the year, next year, we will be closer to the 200 range. Now, things should start to improve at that point. You're already going to be in precious metals if you play your cards right. I'm saying if you go to my good friends at Goldco, if you got a 401k or an IRA, get out of their system. Get out while the getting's good. Dow Jones has been up. It's about as high as it's going to be. Maybe it goes a little higher. You're not going to feel like you missed out because silver and gold are going to continue to go up. Silver especially. You're going to be like tripping on silver. The most silver that you can afford to get is the right amount of silver. I'm telling you. Silver is going to go up a bunch. You can cash out some of that if you want to use it to pay for things. It's going to be a good one. Silver is going to go up a bunch. And it's because of contracts. It's because of the fact there's not enough of it. It's used in manufacturing. Gold, not so much. Silver, yes. And our new currency that we're ultimately going to go to is going to be backed by precious metals. So you will find a pretty happy place if you take that step, get out, get as much of this moved sideways as you can. And I say sideways because it's tax-free, penalty-free. You're going to be moving it sideways over into actual physical metals put into a trust, literally physical metals. That's why I'm saying how much silver you get is going to be up to you, but it's in a trust. It's literally put in like a vault. So there's like a lease fee, I think. It's physical metals. Now, again, down the road, you want to have those sent to you. That's considered payment. If you're doing it early, you're going to be penalized. I don't know if they can penalize the precious metals. You can ask these questions. You just ask them hypothetically. Could you penalize the precious metals, or would that just be an additional fee I would owe in cash? And so, again, there's a lot of ways to consider what's happening in the big picture. I'm not making any assessments or telling you what you should do. What I am suggesting, though, is silver and precious metals in general are a protector of wealth, period. Always have been in these types of situations. It's the best asset, hands down, out there right now. Hands down. And it's killing. It's going to. And as we move into this new currency and get the Fed out of here and all sorts of crazy stuff, precious metals is what's going to back that new currency. You're already going to have the precious metals. Thusly, you're already going to have the currency. It will be worth the precious metals you've got. 1 for 1. As opposed to Federal Reserve notes. That's not going to be a 1 for 1. That's going to be a 50 to 1, 50% to 1, like half to 1, right? Like it's not going to be a full 1-to-1 ratio. There's a lot of people, a lot of criminals, a lot of stuff like that have Federal Reserve notes. They can't give them a bunch of wealth. So the Federal Reserve notes are going to take a hit. Transfer out while you can. Take your money and run. You don't need to count it at the table. We learned from the gambler. We'll count it later, but you will be impressed with the growth that happens, especially with silver. Gold's going to just protect you. Go to drslikesgold.com. drslikesgold.com. Get out of that system. drslikesgold.com. Get out while you can. It's worth it. Move as much of your money, tax-free, penalty-free. You're going to love it. drslikesgold.com. Get out of that system while you can. Here's Tulsi Gabbard talking about the threats of the Islamists. I don't like labeling groups, but this is something that's popular right now, and I understand in the concept of Islamist versus Muslim, like there's this sort of radicalized approach to it. So I get that. I do think there's radicalized people in every sect of life. So again, I have a hard time painting with broad brushes. You guys know this. I'm just saying this just because it makes me be able to sleep at night. And I don't need the karma. So that said, for a lot of you guys, this is going to be very interesting.
The threats from this Islamist ideology come in many forms. As we approach Christmas right now in Germany, they are canceling Christmas markets because of this threat. In places like Dearborn, Michigan, and Minneapolis, Minnesota, Islamist clerics are openly pushing this Islamist ideology, trying to recruit and radicalize young people. Earlier this year, there was a conference that was held representing organizations like the Council on American Islamic Relations, also known as CARE, which issued a call to action to use American legal and political systems to implement Sharia law. This is already underway in places. This is already underway in places like Houston. This is not something that may possibly happen. It is already happening here within our borders. Paterson, New Jersey is proud to call themselves the first Muslim city. They are working to implement in their own governments these Islamic principles that are forced on people through the use of laws or violence. The bottom line is this: when we talk about the threat of Islamism, this political ideology, there is no such thing as individual freedom or liberty. As Charlie said over and over again, it is fundamentally incompatible with our nation's foundation of freedom. And at its core, when we understand that our freedom comes from God and no one else, we understand the seriousness of this Islamist ideology threat, because it means they deny that God is the one who has bestowed this right to freedom in every one of us.
Now, she's not Christian when she says that, which is interesting. I believe she's Hindi, right? Or Hindu, sorry. Hindi's the language. Again, naval forces have now got suicide drones. They do a launch here. It's kind of cool. Check this out. They will here in a second. It's so weird. It's cool, though. It's like us finally getting smart, but it feels so like third world, doesn't it? It's like kind of weird. It's a little catch-22 from that standpoint. Senator Mike Lee, Rep. Tim Burchett are filing legislation, letting private citizens seize cartel assets if the president grants them authority. This trips me out. This scares me a little bit. It's about who's going to have access to seize these assets. And assets are worth money. And what can they do? They can sell them afterwards? Who do you let have them? You're going to give it to the people that did the most cool stuff for you? And then, so you're just going to reward that? Like, again, I just don't see how that is cool. But we got Tim Burchett, who I like. And then Rep. Mike Lee, he's a senator. I don't know. I don't trust him, frankly. I think the senators suck. I think there's one or two that are good. Maybe two. So whatever. We'll see what happens. I don't want to play the video. F them. Trump suspends $40 billion tech deal with the UK over free speech crackdown. UK is trying to shut us down with their little online bullshit act. And Trump basically is pulling back money now. Tariffs are going to come. So we are fighting the fight, folks. And here's Trump. This was appropriate for where we're at right now. Let's check this out. I don't remember what he says exactly.
They say 12 times more. Why? For research and development. It was all a con job. But I'd say to the head of France, as an example, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to double or triple your prices for drugs. No, we will not do that. Oh, yes, you will. I said, yes, you will. 100%. No. We will not do that. Of course we will not. I can't do that. I said, yes, you will. No, I won't. Yes, you will. And he said, why do you have such certainty? I said, because if you don't do it, I'm going to charge you a 25% tariff on everything you sell into America.
I'm going to put lay pencil up, lay butt is what I'm going to do, big guy. I was actually talking to one of my French friends. I like to consider her a French friend, but she understands I'm very hard on the French for good reason. No, she doesn't think so. Anyway, I asked her, because I've been dying to ask this to a French person. She looked it up, and it worked out perfectly. I said, is douche a French word? Turns out it is. Isn't that funny? Douche. Fitting. Their word. They own it. Dadgummit. Barbed wire, tear gas, and water cannons. This is what's going on as they try to fight the farmers. I fight the farmers and the farmers won. There's no such song, is there? No, because that's never ever happened until now. They're fighting the farmers. Elon Musk is stoked with it and a lot of things. But yeah, farmers in Brussels, they're getting ripped off because of the tariff deals that Europe is making. Europe is fudging everyone, especially the countries that rely on certain exports. Trump is kind of demonstrating how the game is played, and they are definitely not playing that game properly. U.S. seized another oil tanker off the Venezuela coast. Let's play this. Oh, I'm not playing all 7 minutes of this. Are you shitting me? Hell no. Dan, you are being shitted. Apparently I am. Anyway, so yeah, I guess they're going to repel or something cool at some point. Otherwise, it just looks like there's an odd downdraft that's coming from something very cool looking, whatever that is. Something fantastic going on. How do you, narrate this? That Steve Inman, where's him when you need him? That dude, yeah. And he's standing outside, and he's running down the street, punches him in the face. However, whatever. Anyways, I can't do it. He's super good. Hey man, when the dude's a master, you just bow down. That's all I can say. U.S. forces launched strikes in Syria to avenge the ISIS attacks on the American troops. That one individual that shot 2 National Guardsmen in the head, one of them lived. We attacked the hell out of Syria and ISIS-K, and I don't know whatever letter they're up to now. ISIS-M. I don't know what the K even stands for anymore. I just, there's so many, right? Anyway, whatever. It's ISIS, Israeli Security Information Services, or whatever they were. What does that stand for? I forget. You guys remind me. What does ISIS stand for? I forget. Netanyahu wants to attack Iran again. Will lobby Trump in Mar-a-Lago visit. So, I mean, this is what they're saying. Again, this is Zero Hedge is losing. It's losing in my mind. I don't know what's going on, but we'll see. He's going to be there for a number of days, which sounds like a vacation to me, 28th through the 1st. So he's going to spend the new year here. I don't know if they're planning on arresting him or something. He's like, can I hang out in Mar-a-Lago just in case? He's like, yeah. So I don't know. Strangeness on that. But yeah. He's coming supposedly to talk. Well, I don't think there's any way Trump's going to let them do more of that. So again, everyone's like, Trump's in bed. They own Trump. It's like, no, fuck you and your mother. Seriously. Deep state warmongers and their propaganda media are again trying to undermine President Trump's efforts to bring peace to Ukraine and indeed Europe by falsely claiming that the U.S. intelligence community agrees to and supports EU NATO viewpoints, that Russia's aim is to invade, conquer Europe in order to gin up support for their pro-war policies. The truth is that U.S. intelligence assesses that Russia does not even have the capability to conquer and occupy Ukraine. What to speak of invading and occupying Europe. That's true. They don't. They don't have the forces. They can cause damage, destroy stuff, basically make things sucky and then slowly move forward, but they can't occupy an entire country. They can occupy the parts that they're getting. This little front. But that's it. No, she's 100% right. So Europe is, they suck. Russia says talks on U.S. peace plan for Ukraine proceeding constructively. Okay, we'll see. Meanwhile, Zelensky admits Ukraine can't afford an $800,000 strong army after the war. He just wants everybody to pay for everything. First off, everybody is basically saying, you can't have an army. That's it. You're like Germany right now, denazified. Isn't that interesting? Same situation happened in Germany after World War II. No military here as well. Yet they want to have one. And we can't afford it, so we need money too. Yeah, no. No, and no. Why would we pay for you to have a military when there's no need for it? We'll provide security. You don't need to. Don't worry. Russia won't mess with you. We got this. 8 people killed and dozens injured in a Russian strike on Ukrainian port city of Odessa. And they blew up something and it was close to his bus. Apparently that had children on there. I don't know, whatever. No, very few people died, it seems. 8 people. I guess that's a lot, kind of. But 27 wounded in the Russian missile strike. Port infrastructure. Blowing up something. Like I said, port infrastructure. I don't know. Russia's not going to lose. I'll tell you that. This I thought was a trip. Jake Paul. He was the guy that fought Mike Tyson and won, which I kind of still think was kind of bullshit. Anyway, he toe-to-toe against a serious animal. And the dude's even got respect for him, so good on him. But he broke both his jaws, which I don't know if doubled broken jaw. Was it broken on both sides? I mean, it just busted this dude's face up. That is, yeah, ouch, good God. Owie, broke his jaw in 2 places. Ooh me, owie. This dude just, ow. Anyway, so, any of you guys that care about that stuff. Yeah. All said. The world's changing. It's changing quickly. And just hold on, man. Hold on. Because it's going to get bumpy. We got some bumpy coming. Be ready, guys. Have water, have food, have cash, have whatever. Like, whatever it is that you need. Extra meds if you can. Try to find a way to prepare. Because it might be a small amount of time. I don't think it's going to be that long. But be able to hold tight for a week if you had to. Or 2, maybe. I don't think it'll be like that, but we'll see. Grocery stores could get kind of jacked. That's one thing. So just make sure you got supplies like that. I think you'll be mostly okay. Make sure you've got good emergency kits, health kits, like those contagion kits and stuff like that. I highly recommend having at least one of those around. Just be prepared as best you can. Water filtration for sure. Definitely make yourself be able to do that. I love you guys. We're going to keep fighting the fight. Where we go one, we go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan Radio Style.